Okay, so you handed us like a whole stack of Jack Canfield's success principles.
Someone's ambitious.
Yeah.
Eh,
But don't worry, we got this.
We're going to break it down into those golden nuggets.
Yeah, we're gonna
That can make a difference in your life.
pull out the stuff that will actually help you. It's a self-help classic, so think of it as a cheat sheet for success.
Exactly. And what I love about Canfield is that he doesn't just give like vague advice,
Right.
He gives real stories about everyday people. He shares his own failures and how he turned them into like springboards
Yeah, like I could do that.
for success,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so ready to unlock your potential? Let's dive in.
Let's go.
Let's start with one of Canfield's most important concepts,
Hmm.
taking 100% responsibility.
Okay.
It's kind of like that saying, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control your reaction. But Canfield takes this a step further. He says you're 100% responsible
Wow.
for the outcomes in your life.
Yeah.
Period. Like, doesn't matter what happens.
Okay.
He even has a formula. He says E plus R equals O. So event plus response equals outcome.
Right.
And he gives this example from the 1994 Northridge earthquake, where he describes all these people stuck in traffic on the freeway in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
So the event's the same. It's a damaged freeway.
Right.
But wildly different outcomes, depending on how people are reacting.
Okay.
Some are, furious. Some are just chilling out, listening to music. Some are even using it as a time to like reconnect with loved ones on the phone.
Right.
So the event was out of their control, but
Yeah.
their reactions are what determine the
Your
outcome.
experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so easy to just blame external factors when things go wrong.
Sure.
But does that actually help you? No.
No.
It's like blaming gravity for tripping on the stairs. So it's about understanding your own response patterns.
Yes.
Because those patterns are what shape your reality.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And Canfield also talks about these yellow alerts, like the little warning signs that things might be heading in the wrong direction. If you can recognize those signals early, you can avoid a lot of negative outcomes.
Oh, like that gut feeling you get sometimes?
Yeah, exactly. Like that little hint that maybe you're not quite on the right track.
Okay.
So it's about being aware of those internal cues.
Right.
And also, external cues.
Okay.
It's all about course correcting before you end up in a situation you don't want to be in.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, now let's talk about finding your purpose.
Yeah.
Now, this is something you've probably heard a lot about, but Canfield actually has a really, I think, unique process for uncovering your purpose.
Okay.
So first, he has you identify your unique talents, like the things that you are just naturally drawn to
Right.
and that you excel at. Then he has you envision like your ideal world.
Yeah.
Like what problems are you passionate about solving?
Yes.
What kind of impact do you want to have?
Right. So not just what you're good at, but what really matters to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when you combine your talents
Right.
and your ideal world, that's where the magic happens.
Right. Okay.
He actually gives this great example. My purpose is to use my creativity and enthusiasm to support and inspire others to freely express their talents in a harmonious and loving way.
Powerful.
Right. Powerful statement, right?
Yes.
This process really helped me uncover my own purpose. To me, it was like, okay, I want to make complex ideas clear and accessible to everyone. That's what drives my passion for this show.
Right.
Knowing your purpose can be so transformative. It gives you a guiding star, helps you make decisions, and it brings a sense of meaning to everything you do.
Yeah. I can see that.
I really encourage you to try Canfield's exercise. I think you'd be surprised by what you discover. Now, Canfield also reminds us not to live someone else's dreams. It's so easy to get caught up in what others expect of us.
Oh, yeah.
He tells this funny story about being at a seminar and everyone's trading notebooks. And he realized he wanted a blue one, but he had settled for yellow.
Oh, okay.
He finally got the nerve to ask someone to trade
Yeah.
and got what he truly wanted.
Right.
It seems like such a small thing, but it was a huge turning point for him.
Okay.
He realized how often we silence our own desires just to please others,
Right.
fit in,
Yes.
So I think it's a great metaphor. How many of us are living out someone else's dreams?
That's a good question.
Are we pursuing our own passions
Right.
or fulfilling someone else's expectations? It's something we should all ask ourselves.
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah. Now, Canfield also talks about the power of belief.
Okay.
He says that believing in yourself and your vision is crucial for success. And he tells a story about Monty Roberts, the horse whisperer, who dreamed of owning a 200-acre ranch, raising racehorses. And his teacher actually gave him an F on a school assignment.
Wow.
Because she thought his dream was unrealistic. But he achieved his vision anyway.
Talk about overcoming limiting belief.
Right. And and then there's this other story about Ruben Gonzalez, this 20-year-old guy who decided to become an Olympic luger.
Really?
Yeah. And he picked this ridiculously challenging sport because of its high attrition rate. He figured his perseverance would carry him to the top. And guess what?
What?
He ended up competing in 3 Winter Olympics.
Incredible.
It really highlights how much our beliefs shape our reality,
Yes.
He believed he could do it, and he did.
He did.
Now think about Peter Vidmar, the Olympic gymnast. He actually visualized his entire routine before the competition.
Oh, wow.
He basically relived an experience that he'd created in his mind, which helped him score like a near-perfect 9.95.
Wow.
That's the power of visualization. It activates your creative subconscious.
Right. It focuses your brain on what you need.
Exactly. But Canfield says it's not enough to just visualize.
Right.
You have to take action. He illustrates this with what he calls the $100 bill analogy.
Okay.
So imagine he's in a room full of people, and he holds up a $100 bill.
Right.
And he's like, who wants this $100 bill? Everyone's eager. They're all saying, me, me, me.
Right.
But nobody actually does anything until one person gets up and grabs it.
Takes action.
Right. And that's his point, We can dream all day long.
Right.
But success requires us to get up and grab it.
Right.
So for those big, daunting goals, he advises breaking them down into smaller, manageable chunks.
Right.
Kind of like Ruben Gonzalez did with the luge.
Yeah.
He started with 0 experience, but he just mastered one skill after another.
They chunked it down.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like building a house. You don't try to build the whole thing at once. You start with the foundation, then the walls, then the roof, and so on.
Right. Each step brings you closer to that ultimate goal. Now, what happens when you hit a roadblock?
Everybody's favorite topic.
Yeah. Canfield says you should fail forward.
Fail forward, okay.
And he tells this story about a very successful scientist who actually credited his achievements to making more mistakes than the average person. Because he saw failure not as this setback, but as valuable feedback.
Oh, interesting.
Right? And then he also shares Janice Stanfield's story. She dreamed of a record deal.
Right.
But when that didn't pan out, she found a new way to fulfill her purpose, which was using music to uplift people and inspire people.
Okay.
So sometimes those roadblocks actually lead you to a better path.
Right. One that's more aligned with your true calling.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that failure is an essential part of the growth process.
I like that.
Now, this next principle is about conquering fear.
Right.
Canfield says, experience your fear and take action. Anyway, he believes that we shouldn't let fear paralyze us. And he actually tells a story where he was working with a seminar attendee who had a fear of flying.
Oh, wow.
And he had her focus on the joy of spending time with her grandchildren at Disney World.
Oh, nice.
And that actually helped her overcome her fear.
That's a good example.
Yeah, so it's about shifting your focus from the fear to the positive outcome.
The positive outcome.
And think about it. We've all overcome fears as children. Learning to ride a bike, jumping off the diving board. I mean, we didn't let fear stop us then.
That's true.
So why should it stop us now?
Yeah, and I think each time we do face our fears, we build up our courage to face the next one.
Exactly. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of handling challenges. Now, this brings us to a principle that can really shift your reality.
Okay.
It's simple, but it's powerful. Ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want. Okay. Canfield says, be clear and specific in your requests. For example, if you're negotiating a raise, don't just vaguely hope for more money.
Right.
State the exact amount you want.
He also tells a story about how he asked his managing director for a team trip to the Great Barrier Reef.
Wow. Okay.
And it seemed like a total long shot, but the managing director agreed.
He did. Wow.
So it highlights how we often underestimate the generosity of others
Right.
and limit ourselves by not asking for what we truly want.
So true.
Right. We never know what's possible unless we ask.
Unless we ask, yeah.
And even if we get a no, Canfield encourages us to reject rejection. He actually faced over 130 rejections before publishing the first Chicken Soup for the Soul book.
Wow.
Imagine if they'd given up after 100 rejections.
Right, right.
This principle just underscores the importance of perseverance.
It does.
Every no is a step closer to a yes, and successful people don't let rejection stop them. They see it as a temporary obstacle, not a permanent roadblock.
And they're also open to feedback, both positive and negative.
Right.
Canfield views feedback as a guidance system.
Like a GPS.
Yeah, exactly. It can help you reach your goals faster. And he encourages us to track our progress,
Oh.
even in our personal lives.
Yeah.
Keep score. It can be really motivating. He even mentions that Vinod Khosla, the founding CEO of Sun Microsystems,
Right.
actually tracks how many times he makes it home for dinner with his family each month.
Okay.
It's a great example of how we can apply this principle
Right.
to any area of our lives.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into the inner critic.
Okay.
Canfield actually has a name for those negative thoughts. ANTs. Automatic negative thoughts.
Mantis. Okay.
And he estimates that the average person has 50,000 thoughts per day.
Wow.
And most of them are negative.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So it's crucial to become aware of those ANTs and challenge them, like, are they actually true?
Right.
And Canfield suggests replacing those negative thoughts with positive affirmations.
Okay, yeah.
So instead of thinking, I'm such a lazy slob, maybe try. I'm committed to taking better care of myself.
Right.
It's about shifting from criticism to support,
Yeah.
Our inner dialogue can either, sabotage us or
Right.
propel us forward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So mastering our inner critic is essential for building self-esteem and achieving our goals. And so is surrounding ourselves with the right people.
Right.
Canfield really emphasizes that our social circle has a huge impact on our success. So he encourages us to spend time with people who believe in us,
Yeah.
who encourage us and inspire us. He points out that many of us actually know the top performers in our companies,
Right.
but we never think to ask them for advice.
That's true.
Right? It's like we have this incredible resource
Right there.
right there, and we're not tapping into it.
Right in front of us.
Yeah. And then he also warns us about what he calls psychic vampires.
Psychic vampires.
Yeah. These energy-draining people that, bring us down.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And he's like, be mindful
Right.
of the energy you allow into your life.
Yeah.
And, create healthy boundaries with those who deplete you.
Right. Okay.
And he also advocates for mastermind groups
Okay.
where, it's individuals who come together to
Yeah.
support each other's goals.
Okay.
He believes that these groups can actually accelerate your success
Yeah.
by providing a space for brainstorming,
Right.
problem solving, and accountability. It's like
Yeah.
having your own personal board of advisors
Right.
cheering you on every step of the way.
Right.
Now, speaking of guidance, Canfield also emphasizes the importance of listening to our intuition.
Okay.
Because he believes it's like this powerful inner guidance system that can lead to success. And he shares this really interesting story about attending a meditation retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this profound shift in his understanding of intuition.
Okay.
He realized that intuitive messages can come through thoughts,
Right.
feelings,
Right.
even physical sensations.
Right.
It's about tuning into those subtle whispers and trusting your gut instincts.
Right. Those gut feelings.
Yeah. He encourages us to pay attention to those aha moments, those flashes of insight that often point us in the right direction. He shares Madeline Belletta's story. She followed her intuition to start a company selling royal jelly,
Okay.
this natural health product.
Right.
And she faced a ton of challenges along the way. Even almost went bankrupt at one point. But she persevered, trusted her intuition, and ultimately built this multi-million-dollar company.
That's great.
It's a great reminder that we all have this incredible resource within us. We just need to learn to listen to it and trust it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, now let's talk about active listening.
Okay.
Canfield, believes that active listening is crucial for building strong relationships and gaining insights. He tells this story about how asking empowering questions actually helped him connect more deeply with his sister. So it's about going beyond just hearing the words, but really tuning into the emotions,
Right.
the needs, the unspoken messages.
Okay. Yeah.
So active listening is about being present,
Yes.
being curious, and truly interested in what the other person has to say. It's such a powerful tool for building rapport and creating win-win outcomes.
Yeah. I can see that.
Right.
Right.
And it ties into another important principle,
Okay.
which is keep your agreements.
Keep your agreements.
Canfield really emphasizes the importance of honoring our commitments, both big and small. He asks this thought-provoking question. He says, if you knew you'd receive $1 million for following the rules of a seminar, could you do it?
Okay.
And most people would say yes,
Yeah.
which proves that keeping agreements is ultimately a matter of choice.
Right. You have the ability.
Right. It's recognizing that our word is our bond.
Yeah.
And when we keep our agreements, we build trust and respect.
Yeah.
When we break them, even small ones, it can erode our self-esteem and damage relationships.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. Okay. Now on to being a class act. This is something that Canfield clearly values.
Okay.
He defines it as exhibiting integrity, generosity, and a commitment to positive impact. He points to John Wooden, the legendary UCLA basketball coach,
Right.
who is known for his integrity and his focus on developing the whole person, not just the athlete.
Okay.
So being a class act is about going beyond personal success. It's about using your influence to elevate others and leave the world a better place than you found it.
Right. I like that.
Okay? Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about money and abundance.
Okay.
Canfield believes that financial abundance is possible for everyone,
Okay.
but it often requires overcoming those limiting beliefs that we have about money.
Yeah.
And he's really open about sharing his own personal experiences. He grew up in a working class family where wealth was viewed with suspicion. So he had to unlearn those negative beliefs to achieve financial success.
Right.
And, it's a reminder that our beliefs about money can either limit or liberate us.
It's true.
He suggests techniques like reframing and visualization to transform those negative beliefs.
Okay.
And he emphasizes aligning your actions with your financial goals.
Okay.
He talks about this principle of you get what you focus on. So if you're focused on lack, you're going to attract more lack.
Right.
But if you're focused on abundance, that's what you're going to create. It's about shifting from, that I can't afford it mentality to how can I create this?
How can I make this happen? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he also stresses the importance of managing our money wisely. He advocates for pay yourself first. Set aside a portion of your income for savings before you pay anything else.
Okay.
He even recommends automating the process.
Right.
Make it easy on yourself. And he suggests following what he calls the 50-50 law. Split your income equally between expenses and savings.
Okay, so 50-50.
Yeah. Canfield really, he debunks this myth that only a select few can become millionaires.
Oh, yeah.
He points out that, most millionaires are just everyday people who worked hard, saved diligently, and invested wisely.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So financial freedom is attainable for anyone who's willing to embrace these principles.
Right.
Okay. He also offers some really valuable insights into mastering the spending game.
Okay.
And he emphasizes the importance of, tracking your expenses, becoming aware of where your money's going.
Yeah.
He encourages us to be more, conscious spenders.
Okay.
And to make intentional choices about how we use our money.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, instead of always trying to cut back, focus on increasing your income.
Right.
Become more valuable. Be creative. Explore new opportunities. And he shares some great stories about entrepreneurs who have identified unmet needs and built successful businesses. So, for example, there's Mike Milliorn, who started a company called Day Dots.
Day Dots.
Yeah, they make those color-coded dots to indicate when food needs to be discarded.
Oh, yeah.
So he started small, selling dots out of his car.
Oh.
And eventually sold a company for tens of millions of dollars.
That's incredible.
Right. And then there's Ralph and Britt Distenfield, who founded We the People.
We the People.
Which provides affordable legal services.
Mm-hmm.
And their company now has over 150 offices.
Wow, that's great.
So, it's inspiring. It shows that anyone with a great idea, willingness to work hard, and a dedication to serving others can really create wealth.
Yes.
Now, Canfield also emphasizes the importance of giving back. He advocates for the principle of give more to get more. He believes that generosity creates abundance. And he uses the chicken soup for the Soul Tithing program as an example.
Oh, wow.
They've donated millions of dollars to charities around the world.
That's amazing.
Canfield believes that when we give freely, we open ourselves up to receive even more.
Right.
And it's not just about money. We can give our time, our talents, our energy.
Yes, absolutely.
It's about making a positive impact, which in turn enriches our own lives. He shares Madeline Belletta's story. She used her company's success to support various causes like planting trees at Yellowstone and building homes with Habitat for Humanity.
What a great example of giving back.
Right. And the ripple effect that it can create.
Yeah.
So now we're at the final section of the book, Success Starts Now.
Okay.
Canfield is all about taking action.
Got it.
He emphasizes that there's no need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to have every detail figured out. The key is to simply get started. Start small. Maybe tackle one unfinished task. Develop one positive habit.
Right.
Read one inspiring book.
Okay.
He believes consistent progress, no matter how small, leads to significant change over time.
It all adds up.
It does. He also highlights the principle of empower yourself by empowering others.
Empower yourself
Yeah.
by empowering others.
And he sees true success as not just about personal achievement, but about helping others reach their full potential.
Okay.
So he encourages us to share our knowledge,
Right.
our resources, and
Right.
our support. He actually gave copies of the success principles to his family, friends, and colleagues.
Oh, nice.
Talk about a ripple effect.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that our success is amplified when we support each other's growth.
Okay. I like that.
Right. So it's a really powerful message. Success isn't a solo endeavor. It's a collaborative journey where we all win when we support each other.
That's a good point.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, Judge.
There's so much more to uncover in the success principles.
Right.
But I think we've laid a really solid foundation.
Definitely. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground already.
Yeah, we've explored, a lot of key principles
Right.
and inspiring stories, and hopefully they'll help anyone listening achieve, greater success and fulfillment in their own lives.
I think so.
Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, here's something to think about. Canfield says that success is about taking 100% responsibility for your life. What's one area where you could step more fully into your power?
Oh,
And what would happen if you did?
that's a great question to reflect on.
Yeah, because it can be
Yeah.
challenging,
Right.
right, to confront those areas
Yes.
where we're not taking full ownership.
Right.
But I really encourage you to explore that question and see where it leads you. And remember, keep those success principles in mind, take action, and believe in yourself. Maybe you'll be the next inspiring story we share.
I love that.
That seems
Inspiring.
Stay tuned.
One thing that stood out to me in the success principles was how much Canfield focuses on
Yeah.
mastering your inner game.
Yes.
He says our beliefs, our self-talk
Right.
can really support or sabotage
Right, yeah.
our success.
Totally.
And he has this really, I think, effective process for overcoming those limiting beliefs.
Okay.
Those negative thoughts, the
Yeah.
ANTs,
Right. The A and T.
automatic negative thoughts. So the first step is to identify that specific belief
Okay.
that's holding you back.
Right.
Maybe it's, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to achieve that.
Right. I'm not worthy.
Right. And then acknowledge how that belief is limiting you.
Yeah.
What are you missing out on because of it?
Right. Like, what are the consequences?
Yeah. Is it preventing you from going after that promotion or asking for a raise? Maybe starting a business?
Yeah. Or like even just speaking up.
Yeah, exactly. So once you've identified that limiting belief and its impact, then you define how you want to be, act, or feel instead.
Okay.
So if the limiting belief is, I'm not good enough, the desired state might be, I'm confident and capable.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, and then you create a turnaround statement,
Good.
a positive affirmation
Yeah.
that counters that limiting belief.
So it's like the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of I'm not good enough, it's
Right.
I'm worthy of success.
Yes. I love that.
Or I have the power to achieve my goals.
Yeah. I'm enough.
Yes, exactly. And Canfield really emphasizes repetition.
Right.
We need to consistently affirm
Yeah.
that new belief to really reprogram our minds.
It's like creating a new groove in your brain,
Exactly.
replacing that old negative track
Yeah.
with a more empowering one.
Yes. And it's not just about our thoughts, though. It's also
Well,
about
sure.
our habits.
Yes.
Successful people often have different habits than those who struggle.
Yeah.
They're more disciplined about things
Yeah.
like time management,
Right.
self-care, continuous learning.
So it's about being intentional,
Yes.
about how you structure your day.
Exactly. So he suggests identifying those habits
Okay.
that are currently holding you back
Right.
and replacing them with more productive ones.
Yeah. So instead of like mindlessly scrolling social media,
Right.
maybe read a book, go for a walk.
Yeah. Or instead of hitting the snooze button, get up and meditate or exercise.
Right. Exactly. So it's like creating a structure
Yes.
that sets you up for success.
Exactly.
Rather than relying solely on willpower.
Because willpower,
Yeah.
it's limited.
It is. It is.
Right.
Yeah. And you only have so much of it. And he also emphasizes preparation.
Okay.
He tells a story about Les Brown,
Les Brown.
the motivational speaker who dreamed of becoming a disc jockey.
Right.
But Les didn't just, like, sit around and wait for the opportunity to come along.
Right.
He prepared himself, honed his speaking skills, sought out mentors,
Okay.
so that when the opportunity finally presented itself, he was ready.
He was prepared.
He landed a job as a gopher at a radio station
Okay.
and quickly rose through the ranks. It's a great example of preparation meeting opportunity.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah. So I'm curious, you've achieved incredible success in your own life.
Thank you.
What are some habits that have been instrumental in your journey?
You know, for me, it's been really essential to carve out time for reflection and learning. I start each day with meditation and journaling.
Okay.
And I make it a priority to read books and articles that challenge my thinking,
Right.
expand my knowledge.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's about continuous growth.
Yes. Right. And it's feeding your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Canfield talks about expanding our minds,
Right.
stepping outside of our comfort zones.
Right.
He recommends attending personal development seminars,
Okay.
reading inspirational books, seeking out experiences that challenge our perspectives.
Right.
It's about, investing in our growth,
Yeah.
continuously evolving.
Yes.
And he also acknowledges that sometimes we need professional support, to overcome those deep-seated
Right.
emotional blocks.
Right. So therapy, counseling.
Exactly. And it's recognizing that it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
Investing in our mental and emotional well-being
Right.
is just as important as investing in our physical health.
Yes, I agree.
Now, let's talk about money and abundance.
Okay.
Canfield emphasizes that wealth is often built through collaboration and leverage.
Right.
It's about surrounding yourself
Yes.
with successful people,
Okay.
learning from their experiences.
Right.
He encourages us to delegate tasks,
Right.
freeing up our time
Mm.
to focus on our core genius,
Okay.
the things we do best.
Okay.
You mentioned psychic vampires earlier.
Right.
What are some practical tips for setting boundaries
Okay.
with those energy-draining individuals?
Yeah. So first, I think it's crucial to become aware of how certain people impact your energy.
Okay.
Do you feel drained or uplifted after spending time with them?
Uh-huh.
If someone consistently leaves you feeling depleted,
Yeah.
it might be time to limit your interactions.
Right.
Or set some clear boundaries.
Right.
You can politely decline invitations.
Right.
Shorten conversations.
Right.
Or even directly address the behavior that's bothering you.
Right. Be assertive.
Yes, remember, you have the right to protect your energy and your well-being.
I love that. And Canfield also talks about delegation.
Yes.
Freeing up your time
Yeah.
to focus on
Yes.
your zone of genius.
Right.
Right?
Things you do best.
Yeah. And he talks about, complete delegation, meaning
Yeah.
you hand off a task entirely.
Right.
You're trusting others to handle it.
Right. Let go of control.
Yeah.
Allow others to step up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And he also talks about creating a schedule
Okay.
that supports your success.
Right.
So this includes what he calls best results days, which are days where you're focused on
Okay.
your most productive activities.
Right.
And then free days where you completely unplug and recharge.
So it's like a balance of productivity and rejuvenation.
Exactly. It's about creating that rhythm that allows for both.
Right.
And he offers this really practical framework for, prioritizing and delegating
Right.
effectively.
Okay.
So identifying those income generating activities and really focusing on those.
Okay.
And he encourages us to be creative
Right.
about finding support.
Okay.
He reminds us that even if we don't own a business, we can still create a personal team
Oh, okay.
of advisors, mentors, support staff.
Right. Right.
He even suggests, hiring a house cleaner
Right.
or a babysitter to free up time.
Yeah, if it makes sense for you.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about recognizing that investing in support can actually increase our productivity and
Right.
well-being.
Yes.
And he also talks about, the importance of saying no.
Oh, yeah.
It's about setting boundaries,
Okay.
protecting our time and energy.
Right.
He reminds us that we can't do everything
Right.
and that saying no to one opportunity might actually open up space for an even better one.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
He even offers some helpful phrases like,
Okay.
it's not against you, it's for me.
Right.
So it emphasizes that your decision isn't a personal rejection,
Okay.
but rather a commitment to your own priorities.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And he also suggests, disconnecting from technology for periods of time,
Okay.
like turning off your phone and email
Right.
to reclaim your focus.
Right. So that you're not constantly being
Right.
bombarded
Well,
with distraction.
Right. And then when it comes to, new opportunities,
Okay.
he encourages us to be, discerning,
Okay.
not just jumping at everything that comes our way.
Okay.
He recommends, talking to advisors,
Okay.
testing the waters,
Right.
evaluating the potential risks and rewards
Right,
before
yeah.
diving in.
So doing your due diligence.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the importance of mentorship earlier.
Yes.
And Canfield seems to be a big believer in that as well.
Oh, absolutely.
He encourages us to identify individuals
Okay.
who have achieved the success that we desire
Right.
and to seek their guidance.
Reach out to them.
He reminds us that successful people are often willing
Right.
to share their wisdom
Okay.
and experience with those who are eager to learn.
Okay. That makes sense.
And he tells this story about Jason Dorsey,
Okay.
who at the age of 18 was inspired by a conversation with a successful entrepreneur
Okay.
to write a book for teenagers about self-esteem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He went on to become a successful speaker, author, consultant.
Wow.
So it's like, the one conversation
Right.
can really spark.
They can,
much
the
of-
seed.
Yeah, totally. And Canfield also encourages, exploring coaching.
Okay.
He explains that coaches provide support, accountability,
Right.
strategies to help you achieve your goals faster. And of course, he's a big fan of mastermind groups.
Yes.
He even offers like a really detailed structure
Okay.
for running effective meetings,
Okay.
including, setting clear goals,
Right.
brainstorming solutions, holding each other accountable.
Okay.
He believes that, the collective wisdom and support of a mastermind group
Yeah.
can really accelerate your success.
Right.
You mentioned earlier that Canfield debunks the myth of the self-made millionaire.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. While Canfield believes that hard work and determination are essential, success is rarely a solo endeavor.
Right.
It's about collaboration, leverage,
Yes.
seeking support from others.
It takes a village.
It does. It does.
Right.
Yeah.
He encourages us to build relationships, network,
Right.
seek out mentors and advisors
Right.
who can guide and support us on our journey.
Yes, absolutely.
And he also emphasizes the importance of giving back,
Right.
believing that generosity creates a ripple effect of abundance that ultimately benefits us all.
Right. We're all interconnected.
Yes. And it reminds me of that African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And speaking of going far, Canfield also encourages us to develop our intuition.
Yes.
He believes it's an invaluable tool for navigating life's twists and turns
Right.
and making wise decisions.
Right.
He encourages practices like meditation and journaling
Okay.
to strengthen that inner voice.
Yeah, to connect with that inner knowing.
Yes, exactly. And he also stresses active listening,
Okay.
both to our own intuition
Wow.
and to the perspectives of others.
Okay, that makes sense.
He believes that everyone has something valuable to teach us,
Yes.
and that by truly listening,
Yeah.
we can gain insights that might otherwise elude us.
Okay.
He tells a story about how asking empowering questions helped him have a more meaningful conversation with his sister,
Oh, okay.
leading to a deeper connection and greater understanding.
Yeah.
So it's about connecting with hearts and minds,
Right.
not just hearing words.
Yeah.
And speaking of words,
Okay.
Canfield also emphasizes the importance of speaking with integrity and clarity.
Okay.
He calls this speaking with impeccability.
Speaking with impeccability.
Yeah, he reminds us that our words have power,
Yes, they do.
right? And we should choose them carefully,
Right.
speaking from a place of truth and authenticity.
Okay, so really meaning what you say.
Yes, exactly. And he also encourages us to be courageous
Right.
in sharing our perspectives,
Okay.
even when it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
He tells a story about how a client actually hired him
Okay.
to develop a program
Okay.
based on his honest feedback,
Right.
even though it challenged their initial assumptions.
Interesting.
So it's a reminder that sometimes the truth,
Yeah.
even when it's hard to hear,
Right.
can be the most valuable gift we can offer.
It can be.
Canfield also encourages us to be proactive about seeking information
Okay.
and clarifying expectations.
Right.
He talks about the 15% rule,
The 15% rule.
meaning that we should take the initiative
Okay.
to gather information
Right.
rather than waiting for it to be handed to us.
Okay, so don't wait for someone to tell you what to do.
Right, exactly.
Go figure it out.
Yeah. Be resourceful,
Okay.
be assertive.
Got it.
And he also emphasizes the importance of appreciating others
Oh,
and expressing gratitude.
right.
He shares a story about how simply sending flowers to a colleague resulted in this, like, outpouring of appreciation.
Right.
It's a reminder that small gestures of kindness and recognition
Yes,
can make a big difference.
they do.
And Canfield also stresses the importance of generosity,
Yeah.
both personally and professionally.
Right.
He tells this great story about, going above and beyond for his customers.
Okay.
When he was selling suntan lotion,
Okay.
he would even climb a rock to cut fresh aloe vera for those who were sunburned.
Wow, that's going above and beyond.
Cool. It is.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how small acts of service
Right.
can build loyalty
Okay.
and create lasting impressions.
Yeah.
And he also highlights, integrity in business,
Okay.
reminding us that building a reputation
Right.
for honesty and trustworthiness
Yes.
is essential
Right.
for long-term success.
Yeah, your word is your bond.
Exactly. And Canfield also, challenges us to think big
Okay.
and to strive for excellence in everything we do.
Right.
He shares a story about Stephen J. Cannell,
Okay.
a successful television producer
Right.
who observed that the young people working in his mailroom
Okay.
often lacked a strong work ethic.
Right. Okay.
They were focused on quick rewards
Right.
instead of long-term potential.
Yeah, that instant gratification.
Yeah. And so it's a reminder that
Yeah.
our mindset
Right.
and our willingness to go the extra mile
Yeah.
really do make a difference.
They do.
And Canfield also challenges us to think beyond our own personal success,
Okay.
and to consider how we can make the world a better place.
Okay, yeah.
He encourages us to find causes we're passionate about,
Right.
to get involved.
Yeah.
He shares this inspiring story of Hugh Panero,
Okay.
CEO of XM Satellite Radio,
Right.
who faced a major setback when investors threatened to pull out
Oh, wow.
of his company.
Right.
But he persevered,
Okay.
ultimately securing the funding he needed.
Wow.
So it's a story of commitment
Right.
and resilience
Yeah.
in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges.
Yeah.
And it's really about how we can overcome them
Yes.
with the belief in that commitment.
Right.
And Canfield's message is clear.
Right.
Success is not just about achieving our own goals.
Okay.
It's about making a positive impact
Right.
on the world around us.
Okay. Yeah.
He encourages us to step into our power,
Right.
embrace our potential,
Okay.
and use our gifts
Yeah.
to create a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Okay, I love that.
And what I find so fascinating about Canfield's approach is he doesn't shy away
Right.
from the importance of hard work,
Right.
discipline,
Yeah.
but he also recognizes the power of mindset, emotional intelligence, that spiritual connection.
Yeah.
It's a very holistic approach.
Right. It's the whole picture.
Yes, exactly, encompassing all aspects of our being.
Right.
He reminds us that success is a journey of
Yeah.
continuous growth, learning, evolution,
Yes.
and it's about embracing our unique gifts and using them to create a life of purpose,
Yes.
passion, and fulfillment.
Okay.
And one of the most inspiring stories that he shares is about Chad Pregrad,
Dad Pregreg. Okay.
who at the age of 17 began a solo mission
Okay.
to clean up the Mississippi River.
Wow.
He had no experience, no funding, no support from the authorities,
Right.
but he had this burning desire
Yeah.
to make a difference.
Okay.
And he started by literally picking up trash in a small boat,
What?
gradually expanding his efforts, and eventually creating a nonprofit called Living Lands and Waters.
Living lands and waters.
And he has now removed millions of pounds of garbage
Wow.
from America's rivers
That's incredible.
and inspired countless others to
Right.
join his mission.
It's a ripple effect.
It is, and it's such a remarkable story of how one person
Yeah.
with a vision and a commitment
Right.
can spark a ripple effect
Yes.
of positive change.
Yeah, and it's a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference.
Yes.
No matter how big or small our actions may seem.
Exactly. And Canfield emphasizes that, we all have the power to make a difference no matter how big or small
Right.
our actions are.
Yeah.
He encourages us to find something we're
Right.
passionate about
Okay.
and to take action,
Right.
even if it's just one small step at a
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
He reminds us that every act of kindness,
Right.
every effort to make the world a better place
Yes.
creates a ripple effect.
It does.
And that by working together,
Yeah.
we can create a brighter future
Right.
for ourselves and for generations to come.
I love that message.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really struck me about Canfield's approach is this emphasis on the power of asking.
Okay.
He encourages us to ask for what we want.
Right.
Ask for help, for guidance, for feedback.
Right.
He reminds us that people are often more willing to help
Yeah.
than we realize.
Okay.
But we need to give them the opportunity.
Right.
He tells a story about a young boy who asked a wealthy philanthropist
Okay.
for money
Okay.
to help him clean up the Mississippi River.
Oh, wow.
And the philanthropist was so impressed by the boy's passion
Right.
that he gave him a check for $25,000.
Wow. That's incredible.
It just shows the power of a simple request.
Right. We never know.
We never know
Unless we ask.
unless we ask.
Right.
Right. And Canfield also encourages us to ask empowering questions
Okay.
that help us see new possibilities and shift our perspectives.
Okay.
So questions like, what would it take to achieve this goal?
Right.
Or how can I make this situation better?
Okay.
These kinds of questions help us move beyond complaining
Right.
and into a more proactive and solution-oriented mindset.
Okay. I like that.
Right. And he also encourages us to ask for feedback,
Right.
even when it's uncomfortable.
Oh.
He reminds us that feedback is a gift,
Yeah.
an opportunity to learn and grow.
Right.
So, he suggests asking questions like, how do you see me limiting myself?
Okay.
Or what could I do differently to be more effective?
Okay.
These kinds of questions encourage honesty
Right.
and help us see ourselves from different perspectives,
Right.
which can be incredibly valuable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Canfield emphasizes that feedback is essential for course correction.
Okay.
It helps us identify our blind spots
Right.
and make adjustments
Right.
that can lead to greater success.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he also encourages us to be grateful for feedback,
Okay.
even when it's difficult to hear.
Right.
And he reminds us that the best way to get more positive feedback
Okay.
is to be more open to negative feedback.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about creating a culture of honesty and transparency,
Right.
where feedback is a tool for growth.
Yeah, a learning opportunity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things that really sets Canfield apart
Right.
as a success coach is his emphasis on the spiritual dimension of success.
Okay.
He believes that there's a higher power at work,
Right.
and that by aligning ourselves with that power,
Okay.
we can tap into a limitless source of guidance, support, inspiration.
Yeah.
He talks about prayer, meditation, connecting with our intuition.
Okay.
He also emphasizes gratitude, generosity, making a positive contribution to the world.
Right.
He believes that when we live in alignment with our values and our purpose,
Yeah.
we create a ripple effect of positivity
Right.
that extends far beyond ourselves.
Right.
He reminds us that success is not just about achieving our own goals,
Okay.
but about making a difference,
Right.
leaving a legacy that matters.
Yeah.
And he encourages us to trust in the unfolding of our journey,
Right.
knowing that even setbacks and challenges
Right.
can serve a higher purpose.
Oh.
He tells a story about a friend who lost everything in a fire,
Oh, wow.
but realized that his true wealth
Right.
lay in his knowledge, his skills, his experiences,
Right.
which could never be destroyed.
Okay.
It's a powerful reminder that our true value
Yeah.
lies not in our possessions,
Right.
but in who we are and what we contribute.
Right. And what we give to the world.
Exactly. And he encourages us to, surround ourselves with beauty and inspiration.
Okay.
He suggests, creating a vision board,
Okay.
listening to uplifting music,
Right.
spending time in nature.
Okay.
He believes that by nurturing our souls,
Yeah.
we create a more fertile ground for success. And he reminds us that, success isn't just about achieving our goals.
Right.
It's also about enjoying the journey along the way.
Yes. It's about the journey.
It's about, savoring those simple pleasures of life,
Right.
connecting with loved ones, appreciating the beauty that surrounds us.
Okay.
What resonates with me is Canfield's belief that success is available to everyone.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that it's not about, our background, our education,
Right.
our circumstances.
Okay.
It's about our mindset,
Right.
our willingness to learn,
Okay.
and our commitment to taking action.
Right.
He shares stories about people overcoming incredible obstacles.
Right.
For example, there was a young man who was told he would never read, write, or communicate normally due to a learning disability.
Wow.
But he went on to earn a doctorate
Wow.
and build a successful career,
Okay.
proving that our limitations are often self-imposed.
Right.
And he also tells the story of a woman who, at 63, decided to go back to school to pursue her passion for geology.
Wow.
And she ended up teaching
Oh, wow.
at a community college.
That's great.
So it's never too late.
Right.
Never too late to follow our dreams.
Right.
Canfield's message is clear. Success is a possibility
Yes.
for anyone
Yeah.
willing to embrace these principles and put in the effort.
Okay.
He encourages us to believe in ourselves, trust in our potential,
Yes.
and never give up on our dreams.
I like that.
And he reminds us that success isn't just about achieving those external goals,
Right.
but about becoming the best versions of ourselves
Yes.
and making a positive contribution to the world.
I love that.
And one thing that really impressed me about the success principles is how practical
Okay.
and action-oriented it is.
Right.
It's not just a book of, inspirational quotes and feel-good stories.
Right.
Canfield provides a step-by-step roadmap with strategies, techniques, exercises.
Okay.
He emphasizes tracking our progress,
Yeah.
celebrating those wins.
Okay.
He reminds us that success is a journey.
Right.
It's important to acknowledge those accomplishments along the way.
Right.
He encourages us to, surround ourselves with supportive people,
Yeah.
mentors, coaches, mastermind groups,
Right.
and to, ask for help when we need it.
Yeah.
Recognizing that we don't have to do everything alone.
Right.
He also reminds us that there are countless resources available.
Yeah.
It's up to us to seek them out and utilize them.
That's true.
He encourages us to create a life we love,
Yes.
rather than settling for mediocrity
Right.
or simply reacting to circumstances.
Okay.
He challenges us to define our values,
Yes.
clarify our visions, set goals, take action.
Okay.
He encourages us to, embrace change,
Yeah.
see setbacks as opportunities for growth,
Right.
and never give up on our dreams.
Okay. And I think one of the things that I really admire about Canfield is his unwavering belief
Yes.
in human potential.
Yes.
He's witnessed firsthand
Yeah.
how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things when they apply these principles.
Yeah.
And, he's a master storyteller. He uses personal anecdotes,
Yeah.
inspiring stories,
Yes.
practical strategies to create a really compelling read.
Yes. And he doesn't shy away from sharing his own struggles and failures.
Yeah, he's very open about that. Right. And it reminds us that success isn't about perfection.
Yeah.
It's about perseverance,
Right.
resilience, learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
He encourages us to, embrace our imperfections,
Yeah.
see failure as feedback, remember that we're all works in progress.
Right.
We're always learning,
Always learning.
growing,
Yeah.
evolving.
Exactly.
He challenges us to step into our power,
Yeah.
embrace our potential,
Yes.
create a life
Yeah.
that's meaningful and fulfilling.
Yes. And,
Yeah. We touched on visualization a little bit earlier.
okay.
Can you expand on how Canfield believes that works? Yeah, so Canfield believes that visualization is really a powerful tool for achieving goals.
Okay.
He says that by creating a clear mental picture of what we want,
Right.
we can actually program our subconscious mind
Okay.
to attract those outcomes
Right.
into our lives.
So it's almost like
Yeah.
like you're setting an intention.
Exactly. And he explains that it works on multiple levels. So it activates that creative power of our subconscious.
Okay.
It focuses our brain
Yes.
on the resources we need.
Okay.
And it also creates a magnetic pull,
Okay.
drawing us toward our desired outcomes
Okay.
and attracting the people and circumstances that can help us.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. And you remember the story of Olympic gymnast Peter Vidmar?
Yes.
He vividly visualized his entire routine before the competition,
Right.
ended up scoring a near-perfect 9.95.
Yeah.
And it was like he was reliving an experience he'd already created in his mind.
Wow. That's amazing.
And Canfield also talks about acting as if embodying that state,
Yeah.
like having already achieved the goal.
Right.
And he even describes an acting as if party,
Okay.
where the attendees pretended their 1991 goals were already realities.
Wow.
They dressed the part, talked the part, even brought props
Oh,
to represent their achievement.
that's amazing.
So they were fully embodying it.
Yeah. I love that. So it really highlights, the power of embodying your desired state.
Yeah.
Right. But you mentioned earlier that, Canfield really emphasizes taking action.
Right.
So how do you reconcile those two seemingly opposing concepts?
Yeah, Canfield believes that visualization and action actually go hand in hand.
Okay.
So visualization sets the stage,
Right.
creates that clear vision,
Okay.
programs our subconscious minds,
Right.
but it's the action
Okay.
that brings that vision
Yeah.
to life.
Okay.
And he gives the example, remember, of holding up the $100 bill
Yes.
and asking who wants it.
Right.
Everyone's like, me, me, me. but no one actually does anything
Right.
until someone gets up
Yeah.
and grabs it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a great reminder that we can think, plan, visualize all we want,
Right.
but it's the action that ultimately brings the results.
Yes, it's about taking that first step.
Yes, exactly.
And for those big goals,
yeah,
Canfield advises breaking them down
right.
into smaller steps.
Yeah.
He calls it chunking it down.
Right, chunking it down,
Yeah.
which makes the whole process less overwhelming.
Yes, more manageable.
Exactly. And it allows us to move forward
Right.
consistently.
Okay.
It's like, building a house.
Right.
You don't try to build the whole thing at once.
Yeah, you start with the foundation,
Right.
then the walls, the roof.
Exactly. Each step brings you closer
Yes.
to that ultimate goal.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what about when we hit those roadblocks?
Right.
Canfield encourages us to, as we've talked about, fail forward.
Right. Fail forward. He tells a story about a successful scientist who credited his achievements to making more mistakes
Oh, wow.
than the average person.
Right.
He didn't see failure as this setback, but as valuable feedback.
Okay.
And he also shares Jana Stanfield's story, who, remember, she dreamed of a record deal.
Right.
But when that path didn't work out,
Right.
she found a new way to fulfill her purpose,
Okay.
which was using music to uplift and inspire.
Right. It redirected her.
Exactly. So sometimes those roadblocks actually redirect us to a path that's more aligned
Right.
with our true calling.
Yeah, it's about trusting that process.
Yes, exactly. And it's recognizing that failure is an inevitable part of growth.
Yeah, especially when we're stretching and growing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And this next principle is about conquering fear.
Okay.
Canfield urges us to experience your fear and take action anyway.
Experience your fear
Yeah.
and take action.
Yeah.
Okay.
He believes that, we shouldn't let fear paralyze us.
Right.
And he tells a story of working with a seminar attendee
Right.
who was afraid of flying.
Okay.
And he had her focus on the joy of spending time with her grandchildren.
Right. Shift that focus.
Exactly. So it's about shifting your focus
Right.
from the fear to the positive outcome.
The positive outcome. Okay.
And think about it. We've all overcome fears in the past.
We have.
Learning to ride a bike, jumping off the diving board.
Yeah, all those childhood fears.
Right. We didn't let fear stop us then.
That's true.
So why should it stop us now?
Yeah, and every time we face a fear and take action,
Right.
it builds our courage
Yes.
for the next time.
Exactly. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of handling those challenges
Okay.
and moving beyond those perceived limitations.
Yeah.
And this brings us to a principle that can really shift your reality.
Okay.
It's simple, but it's powerful.
Okay.
Ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want. Okay.
Canfield says be clear and specific in your requests.
Right.
For example, you're negotiating a raise. Don't just vaguely hope for more money. State the exact amount you want.
Right. Okay.
He also tells a story about asking his managing director for a team trip to the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, wow.
It seemed like a long shot,
Okay.
but his managing director agreed.
He did it.
So it highlights how we often underestimate the generosity of others.
Right. We hold ourselves back
Yeah,
by not asking
Exactly.
for what we really want
Yeah, we never know what's possible unless we ask.
unless we ask. Yeah.
And even if we get a no, Canfield encourages us to reject rejection.
Rejection.
And he faced over 130 rejections before publishing the first Chicken Soup for the Soul book.
Oh, wow.
Imagine if he'd give it up after 100. You know? This principle underscores the importance of perseverance.
It does.
Every no is a step closer to a yes.
That's true.
And successful people, they don't let rejection define them.
Right? They see it as part of the process.
Exactly. They see it as a temporary obstacle,
Yeah.
not a permanent roadblock.
Okay.
And they're open to feedback, both positive and negative.
Okay.
Canfield views feedback as a guidance system.
Like a GPS.
Exactly. It can help you reach your goals faster.
Okay.
And he also encourages us to track our progress,
Oh.
even in our personal lives.
Okay, keep score.
Right, keep score.
Yeah.
He mentions that Vinod Khosla,
Okay.
the founding CEO of Sun Microsystems,
Right.
actually tracks how many times he makes it home for dinner with his family
Oh, wow.
each month.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like a great example of how we can apply this principle
Right.
to any area of our lives.
Yeah. Okay.
The key is to identify
Yeah.
what truly matters
Okay.
and track your progress toward it.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, let's explore the inner critic.
Okay.
Canfield calls those negative thoughts. Remember, ANTs.
Right. ANTs.
Automatic negative thoughts.
Automatic negative thoughts. Yeah.
And he estimates that the average person has 50,000 thoughts per day.
Wow. That's a lot of thoughts.
And most of them are negative.
Yeah.
So it's crucial to become aware of those negative thought patterns
Yeah.
and challenge them.
Right.
Are they actually true?
Right. Okay.
Canfield suggests replacing them with positive affirmations.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking, I'm such a lazy slob,
Right.
maybe try, I am committed to taking better care of myself.
Right.
It's about shifting from criticism to support.
Okay. I like that.
Our inner dialogue can either sabotage us
It can.
or propel us forward.
Okay.
So mastering that inner critic is essential for building self-esteem
Right.
and achieving those goals.
Right.
And so is surrounding ourselves with the right people.
Okay.
Canfield emphasizes that our social circle
Yeah.
has a huge impact on our success.
Okay.
He encourages us to spend time with people who believe in us,
Yes.
who encourage us, who inspire us.
Right. They lift us up.
Exactly. He points out that we often know who the top performers are in our companies,
Yeah.
but we never think to ask them for advice.
That's true.
Right. It's like we have this incredible resource right there,
Yeah.
and we're not tapping into it.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
And then, of course, he warns about the psychic vampires,
Right. The psychic vampires.
those energy-draining people
Yeah.
who can bring us down.
Yes.
So he encourages us to be mindful of the energy we allow into our lives,
Right. Okay.
create healthy boundaries with those
Yes.
who deplete us.
Right.
And he also advocates for mastermind groups
Mastermind groups. Okay.
where individuals come together
Right.
to support each other's goals.
Okay.
And he believes that these groups can accelerate our success
Yeah.
by providing a space for brainstorming, problem solving, accountability.
Oh.
So it's like having your own personal board of advisors
Right.
cheering you on
Yeah.
every step of the way.
I like that.
Now, speaking of guidance, Canfield also emphasizes listening to our intuition.
Okay. Our intuition.
He believes it's, this powerful inner guidance system that can lead us
Okay.
to success.
Okay.
He shares a personal story about a meditation retreat where he experienced a profound shift
Oh, wow.
in his understanding of intuition
Okay.
and realizing that intuitive messages can come through thoughts,
Right.
feelings, even physical sensations.
Okay.
So it's about, tuning in to those subtle whispers,
Right.
trusting those gut instincts.
Okay. Like that.
He encourages us to pay attention to those aha moments,
All right.
those flashes of insight that often point us
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Yeah.
Canfield also shares Madeline Belletta's story.
Okay.
Remember, she followed her intuition
Right.
to start a company selling royal jelly.
Right.
And she faced many challenges,
Right.
but persevered, trusting her intuition,
Okay.
ultimately built this multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
So it's a great reminder that we all have this incredible resource within us.
We do.
We just need to learn to listen
Right.
and trust it.
Okay.
Okay, now let's talk about active listening. Canfield believes that this is crucial
Right.
for building strong relationships
Okay.
and gaining valuable insights.
Okay.
She tells a story about how asking empowering questions
Right.
actually helped him connect more deeply with his sister.
Okay.
It's about going beyond just hearing the words.
Right. So more than just surface level.
Exactly. So it's about tuning in to those emotions,
Okay.
needs, the unspoken messages.
Right.
Active listening is about being present,
Yes.
curious,
Okay.
truly interested
Right.
in what the other person has to say.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
such a powerful tool for building rapport
Yeah.
and creating win-win outcomes.
Okay.
And it ties into another important principle.
Okay.
Keep your agreement.
Into your agreements. Okay.
Canfield emphasizes the importance of honoring our commitments,
Okay.
both big and small.
Right.
He asks this thought-provoking question. If you knew you'd receive $1 million
Okay.
for following the rules of a seminar, could you do it? And most people would say yes.
Right. Because the stakes are higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Which proves that keeping agreements is ultimately a matter of choice.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our word is our bond.
Yes.
And when we keep our agreements,
Yeah.
we build trust and respect.
Yeah. Okay.
When we break them, even small ones, it can erode our self-esteem and damage relationships.
Right.
So now let's talk about being a class act.
Okay.
Canfield defines this as exhibiting integrity, generosity,
Okay.
and a commitment to positive impact.
Okay.
He points to John Wooden,
John Wooden.
the legendary UCLA basketball coach,
Right.
who was known for his integrity
Okay.
and his focus on developing the whole person,
Right.
not just the athlete.
Okay.
So being a class act is about going beyond, personal success.
Right.
It's about using your influence to elevate others
Okay.
and leave the world a better place than you found it.
You like that.
Now let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about money and abundance. Canfield believes that financial abundance is possible for everyone,
Okay.
but it requires overcoming those limiting beliefs about money.
Right, that we might have.
Right, and he shares his own experiences growing up in a working-class family
Okay.
where wealth was viewed with suspicion.
Right, so he had to overcome that.
Right, he had to unlearn
Yeah.
those negative beliefs
Yeah.
to achieve financial success.
Okay.
So, it's a reminder that our beliefs about money can either limit or liberate us.
So it can, that's true.
And he suggests techniques like reframing and visualization
Okay.
to transform those negative beliefs.
Right.
And he emphasizes aligning our actions with our financial goals.
Okay.
He talks about that principle. You get what you focus on.
Okay.
So if you're focused on lack,
Right.
you attract more lack.
You attract more lack, yeah.
But if you focus on abundance,
Okay.
that's what you create.
Okay.
It's about shifting from I can't afford it to
Right.
how can I create this?
How can I make this happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And he also stresses the importance of, managing our money wisely.
Okay.
He advocates for, pay yourself first,
Right.
setting aside a portion of your income for savings
Yeah.
before you pay any other expenses.
So before anything else, okay.
Yeah. He even recommends automating the process.
Okay.
Make it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
And he suggests following the 50-50 law.
50-50 law.
Splitting your income equally between expenses and savings.
Okay.
And Canfield, debunks this myth that only a select few can become millionaires.
Yeah.
He points out that most millionaires are everyday people who worked hard,
Right.
saved diligently,
Yeah.
invested wisely.
Okay.
So financial freedom is attainable for anyone
Right.
willing to embrace these principles.
Okay.
And Canfield also offers valuable insights into mastering the spending game.
Okay.
He emphasizes tracking your expenses
Right.
and being aware of where your money is going.
Yeah.
He encourages us to be more conscious spenders
Yeah.
and make intentional choices about how we use our money.
Right. Okay.
And he says, instead of always trying to cut back,
Right.
focus on increasing your income.
Increasing your income. Yeah.
Become more valuable, be creative, explore new opportunities.
Right. Okay.
And he shares some great stories of entrepreneurs
Yeah.
who've identified unmet needs and built successful businesses.
Okay.
For example, Mike Milliorn, who started Day Dots.
Day dots.
Those color-coded dots that indicate when food needs to be discarded?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He started small, selling dots out of his car.
Oh, wow.
Eventually sold the company for tens of millions of dollars.
Wow.
And then there's Ralph and Britt Disconfield,
Okay.
who founded We the People,
We the people, right?
which provides affordable legal services. And their company now has over 150 offices.
Wow.
So it's inspiring. It shows that anyone
It does.
with a great idea,
Yeah.
willingness to work hard, dedication to serving others,
Yeah.
can really create wealth. And Canfield also emphasizes the importance of giving back.
Right.
He advocates for give more to get more,
Okay.
believing that generosity creates abundance.
Yeah.
And he uses the chicken soup for the soul tithing program as an example.
Oh, yeah.
They've donated millions of dollars to charities around the world.
That's incredible.
And Canfield believes that, when we give freely, we open ourselves up to receiving even more.
Yeah, it comes back to you.
And it's not just about money. We
Right.
can give our time, our talents, our
Yeah.
energy.
Yes.
It's about making a positive impact on the world,
Okay.
which in turn enriches our own lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
He shares Madeline Boletta's story.
Okay.
Remember, she used her company's success to support various causes,
Right.
like planting trees and building homes with Habitat for Humanity.
Right.
What a great example
Yeah.
of giving back
Yes.
and the ripple effect that it can create.
Okay.
So now we're at the final section of the book, Success Starts.
Okay.
Canfield is all about taking action.
Right.
He emphasizes that there's no need to wait for the perfect moment.
Okay.
You don't have to have every detail figured out.
Right.
The key is to just get started.
Just start.
Start small, tackle one unfinished task, develop one positive habit, read one inspiring book.
Okay.
He believes that consistent progress, no matter how small, leads to significant change.
Right. It all adds up.
It does. It
That's
does.
great.
Over time. And he also highlights this principle: empower yourself by empowering others.
Okay.
He sees true success as not just about, personal achievement,
Right.
but about helping others reach their full potential.
Right. Bringing others along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he encourages us to share our knowledge, resources, support.
Okay.
He gave copies of the success principles to his family, friends, colleagues.
Wow.
Talk about a ripple effect.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that our success is amplified
Right.
when we support each other's growth.
Right. We all rise together.
Exactly. And it's such a powerful message.
Mhm.
You know, success isn't a solo endeavor.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative journey
Right.
where we all win
Yeah.
and we support each other.
I love that.
And, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to uncover in the success principles.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we've laid a solid foundation.
We have. We've covered a lot.
We have, yeah. And we've explored so many key principles and inspiring stories that can help
Yay.
anyone listening
All right.
achieve greater success and fulfillment in their own lives.
Okay.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah, okay.
what's one principle or story that really stood out to you?
For me, I think it was Canfield's emphasis on taking 100% responsibility
Yes.
for our lives.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, right? To step fully into our power,
Yes.
own our choices, stop blaming external circumstances.
Right.
But he reminds us that we have more control
Yes.
than we often realize.
That's so true. It's so easy to fall into that trap of victimhood. Right. But ultimately, it's our responses to events that shape our outcome.
Yeah, we have the power to
Yeah.
choose our response.
Exactly. What about you? What resonated with you?
I was really struck by the principle fail forward.
Yes.
It's a reminder that, failure isn't the opposite of success.
Right.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah.
It's about embracing those setbacks,
Yes.
extracting the lessons,
Yes.
and using them to move us forward.
I love that perspective.
Yeah,
It's about reframing failure as feedback.
exactly. Host.